Okay, Carly, I'm going to get started. Thank you for attending today. My name is David Milano. I'm the CEO of REALTECH here in Malvern, PA. And today we'll be talking about DevOps and SAP Automated Change Management and how we can help with our solutions, get rid of your managed processes and better integrate a DevOps methodology with SAP Automated Change Management. Make sure if I change this, it doesn't screw up here. Okay, great. Okay, so so down here is my contact information, an email, and also here is our website. I encourage you to go check that out. Today's focus is going to be on a little bit about who REALTECH is, a little bit about our methodology for DevOps for SAP. We'll talk a little bit about the value of the solutions and what the solutions are, and then we'll do a brief, quick demo, and then we'll open it up to questions if there are any. This is only 30 minutes, so I'm going to talk quite quickly, as well as I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so my voice, I might have to cough. I'll try not to. I apologize if I do. So a little bit about who REALTECH is. We were founded in 1994. Out of Waldorf, Germany. Our North American headquarters is right outside it's west of Philadelphia and called Malvern, right around the block from SAP in Newtown Square. Our European headquarters is based out of Lyman, Germany, which is in between Heidelberg and also Waldorf. Publicly traded in Germany, 2,000 worldwide customers, 250 technical SAP consultants. Presence in 4 countries, US, Germany, New Zealand, and Japan. So we're able to we have a global presence, and we're able to help customers 24/7 with our support capabilities. Our portfolio, we have a solution called SmartChange. It has change process management, transport management. On this one, let me see. Maybe I'll just do it this way instead. So sorry about the change of the slides. So SmartChange has change process management, transport management, synchronization management, and then we do professional services on our consulting side. We were just certified by SAP to do S4 HANA technical conversions. I like to mention that our product is also certified for SAP or by SAP for S4 HANA. So we're very proud of that accomplishment that just happened. And we're able to go into the future knowing that our solutions and our technical expertise around S4 HANA is there to help customers digitally transform to the future of what SAP is also going towards, the digital core. Really focused for the last 25 years on OSDB and HANA migrations. Really, OSDB, HANA obviously is fairly new from a database standpoint, but this is our bread and butter, database migrations and SmartChange, helping customers really automate their manual SAP change and transport processes, and then also lift and shift SAP from one, either on-premise to on-premise or on-premise now to the cloud, any cloud. We are the premier technology company to do that. We also have a service now where clients there's so much information out there to digest. We are the technical advisors for companies where we come in sort of as the conduit between some of these vendors, either hardware vendors or cloud vendors, and we are the SAP specialists that help the company decide which is the best infrastructure for their environments for the future, based on their SAP architecture. And we're there to guide and assist them throughout that process. Eventually, once that project is completed, then we decide to do a lift and shift migration where they choose REALTECH to do that piece. So, we're there from the beginning, from the assessment stage, from the automation of your transports and changes, as well as your technical conversions and migrations. We can help you every step of the way. So let's talk about what we're here to talk about today, which is DevOps for SAP. which means to intelligently modify best practices and methods and adapt them to today's requirements. Optimization for speed and optimization by cost. Fast reaction on market requests versus slow by design. So we know in previous years, when you have an SAP environment, it's always build it in dev, test it in quality, test it in quality, test it in quality, and then eventually get it to production, right? It's very slow time to get to production. It could be a week's time. It could be a bi-weekly or a monthly even to production, we see customers do. Well, with the business requirements today and implementing DevOps, that just means you're trying to get more agile, more faster changes to production so you can make better business decisions for your company and get those changes into production to be able to use them more quickly. So in the wake of digitization, SAP systems must become more agile, flexible, and faster. Yeah, this is basically what I was just sort of mentioning, right? Bring changes quickly and safely into production, right? Well, with manual processes, with spreadsheets, with emails, getting those approvals, all that takes time, slows things down. Really, DevOps achieves a faster market reaction and thus more sales potential for your business, right? You want to become more agile. You want to be able to have lean processes and tools to enable short development and release intervals as well as communication rules. So the old way of really doing that, where SAP used to say you need to be careful, putting things into production because if they break, it's going to take more time to get it fixed and you got to get it up there. Really, the times have changed, and the only thing that is constant is change, right? So you really need to have automation and the right process like DevOps in place, along with tools to help you, migrate changes faster for the business, right? So here are some of the principles for DevOps for SAP. Well, agility in development. Faster response to market trends, stability in operation. If you're going to use, be quicker, you have to be more stable. You can't do that with manual processes and with spreadsheets and emails and bottlenecks, right? Integration, really integrating other tools, ServiceNow, Jira, BMC Remedy into solutions like ours so you can approve from that tool. It'll connect to the SAP system, approve the changes, and move them into production, right? Collaboration between all SAP experts in the company, not a split between your operations team and your development team. We'll talk a little bit about that down in this slide, right? So the goal is to be a more efficient cooperation between development, operations, and quality assurance. For this special incentives, tools and processes are used, right? So how can REALTECH help with this kind of operation, right? And here's where our tool set really comes into play. So in a DevOps tool chain, you have your process management, change and release management, test management, system copies. We have solutions in this whole operation. For process management, we have an interface management solution. Today, we're really going to be focused on the transport management piece, but synchronization management for N+1 environments. For system copies, we have an assessment services where we have remote access services and an ABAP suite to help you. All this is based off remote managed services. So we have the solutions that have been around for 20+ years, even before DevOps was DevOps. And now we're using those solutions to improve companies who are going towards this methodology. Today, we're really focused on, it's called SmartChange, and we're going to talk about transport management. SmartChange has 4 different modules. Change process management, which is a module that could sit on top of transport management. This is an ABAP-based tool. Change process management is really a Java-based application. You have synchronization management for N+1 or dual retrofit scenarios in your SAP environments. Then we're partnering with Virtual Forge, who has some security tools that we've incorporated into our suite as well, which makes a great complement to our tools, which is automation, approvals, and workflow. And then in the beginning, you can check for security gaps or long wait statements in the code that's being delivered, let's say by your offshore team or your development team, to do an extra layer of checking for bottlenecks and such in the code. What is SmartChange, right? So SmartChange is flexible SAP change management. So in change process management, we define the templates for your releases and your changes. That trickles down via web services into the ABAP tool, transport management, which is really the technical move machine. This is where we check for overtakers, critical objects, return code forecasting, managing ABAP and Java transports. Meets all auditing requirements. We have a customer that has had manual processes, literally would take a piece of paper and go room to room and get approvals by managers before they could put a transport in. Once they implemented our tool and they started auditing through our tool, it went from a day process to literally a 15-minute process where the auditor would come in and say, hey, here's my 5 changes, or the 5 transports and changes, let me know what happened with them. They'd run a quick report from a central system, which is Solution Manager. Doesn't have to be, but we usually install on Solution Manager as the central system. And they were able to get the reporting that they needed within seconds or minutes versus hours and digging through logs and reports. All this is really based off of what we call the IQ library. I like to call this the repository, or the brain of the applications. It keeps track of all the changes on the object, all the versions, all historical data, all users. Really, it's where we get all the data from that's collected along the paths of the landscapes back up to the central TM server, we call it, and where we run our reporting against. We have different sets of modules for the change process management reporting versus the ABAP reporting, but be sure you can run any kind of type of report that you need for compliance and auditing capabilities. So I'm going through some slides because I want to hit the demo, but let's go to what we're going to show you today is called the transport management solution, and it's the REALTECH. I call it the technical move machine, right? What is it? We centralize it in Solution Manager. Security is a single authorization object, independent of the system of release, right? So I mentioned we have customers running 4.0b. We have customers running 4.6c. Really, we like to focus on customers on NetWeaver 7.0 or above. Right now, 7.5 is popular and fully compliant. We test new versions of NetWeaver in Germany before we release our product, so we understand ahead of time any issues or challenges on the latest release of NetWeaver. Flexible approval workflows, out-of-the-box reporting, easily installed and configured, simple to use, scalable for simple or complex. We have customers like Microsoft running our solution with 78 systems. We have Kimberly-Clark who has 40 landscapes, or we have a simple 2-system landscape with some companies. So for small, medium, or large, anybody who uses or does SAP change and transport management, our solution is a great fit. Some of the key features in our solution: proactive collisions, critical object definition, return code forecasting. You're able to proactively predict if a transport is going to have a successful return code before it goes into the system. Automatic imports with job scheduler, so you can set up your jobs, in the production, 15-minute job in the quality, once a week in the production. And this really takes basis out of the time-consuming work of doing transports, right? It puts the onus back on to the people who are responsible for doing transports and changes in the environments, such as the developers and the approvers, to do when the developer releases, the approver approves, they both get emails, it goes into the system, they get emails again about the information. It's more self-service within your organization, and Basis can really focus on keeping the systems up to date, making sure the database is running as it should, and the systems are optimized. So this is just a short view about the collisions. I'll briefly go through that. You get a pop-up box that shows you have an overtaker situation. So as an approver with our tool, you can never overwrite changes in your target system. We are proactively telling you you're going to cause rework on the approval. This is just some user groups, or how we create user groups for the workflows on the approvers. We have cross-system object locking. So if you have a dual development system, you touch an object on one system and it's already been touched on the other system. So in this example, TR1 is Dev1, TR2 is Dev2. When you touch an object on TR1, it'll pop up and say there's already some transports out there with the same object. Are you sure you want to proceed? It's a monitor, right? We call it the cross object locking result monitor. And you're able to make decisions. So return code forecasting, completeness check, identification of dependent SAP objects within transports. So you're able to pop up a window and say, this object, if it goes into QA1, will it be successful? No. Okay, it's red. Let me click into it. And then, let me click into it, and then you'll get the results of the other transports where the object is. So you're able to include them both to move them into the system for a successful return code. This for us is a game changer. We don't feel that any other solution in the market can really do this return code forecasting. And it's really something that our team in Germany worked really hard on to help customers. Some of the other features, packages or bundling of transports. We talked about cross-system object locking. Dependencies, you can create dependencies within transports or within transports in different environments, such as ECC and BW. We know that's a big ask when we do presentations. Can you control an ECC and BW transport going into your system? And if one fails, will the other one go? With our solution, it's absolutely possible. So attributes, text, links, attachments, so you can add these, add additional information to transports or to what we call packages or bundling of transports, such as testing documents, tester names, links to ServiceNow, BMC Remedy, very simple to interface the two applications. Repeating imports, rejecting or revoking, tracking information down to the object level, very granular with our not only just transport handling, but also our object handling. You're able to go see the versions of the object, what other transports have that object or have been imported into the system previously or are going to be. We have a tracking, let's say, window or dashboard where you see all that. Proposals, you can schedule a time outside your normal window for an import. So let's say you have 2 ECC transports that have 1,000 objects each, and you don't want to run them during your daily business hours. You're able to go in and create what we call a proposal, and then run it at 7 or 8 o'clock at night when the system's less used and there's less users on there to tax the SAP system. So with that, I'm going to go into our demonstration of our tool real quick. And I'd like to mention again, we're very proud of our certified by SAP integration with S/4HANA. So, we feel that we put a lot of hard work and worked with SAP to ensure that our solution, which has been around for over 25 years, is up to date with the latest technology stack that SAP is coming out with. And we're fully certified and ready to go to help our customers, which we're really excited about. So with that, I'm just going to open up a quick video, and we'll start with just a basic release from dev into QA, right? So when we release the task, nothing happens. This is a blank transport. But when I release the transport, I get a pop-up window. Now, this is something we did for a customer, very simple out-of-the-box configuration, where they wanted to capture information upon the release. And we went in and developed this based on what they wanted to see, right? So description of work, it was a table change. They wanted a PRNA number, which is relevant to their Lotus Notes, an incident number, which might be a JIRA number, which process area this was for. I think this one was for BW. The requesting service business unit, which is it was a chemical solution. And then they wanted to be able to have the ability to add a test results link. Sometimes in the beginning, if they had it, or testing results inside of dev. So they did some testing before they released it. And then the next thing they did would, they would say, okay, this is really our additional pop-up, right? Transport management. And we come with a project destination combination, and we're able to release by selecting one of these destinations. The first destination is equal to a TOC, transport a copy. The next one would actually go all the way through into production. So you'll see two buttons down here, add the TM or release outside of our tool. Once we go live, this button goes away. You'll be able to add transports into our transport management tool. So with that, I select this path because I want it to go all the way to production. I say add the TM, are you sure? Yes, and an SAP standard takes over and releases the transport just like normal. So this is on the D24 system, their dev box, BW. It gets released. Now we go over to our solution manager, P36. We've sent an email because they wanted an approval into quality that somebody needs to come in now and approve for the transport. So we have our own architecture, we have our own RFCs, our own user. We don't rip out or replace anything you have today. So we have our own transaction as well. So when you go to P36, you go to our transaction, which is /n/RTC/TM, which if you do upgrades, our tool is not affected at all since we sit inside of our own namespace. So this is what we call the workflow monitor. On the left side is the transport levels. We group systems according to transport level. So if you have ECC, BW, CRM quality systems, they would be grouped here. Same with the production systems down here. In saying that, they have their own system queues and their own jobs. So we don't rely on one job to import all your QA transports for all those landscapes. They all have independent jobs. Excuse me. So here the transport was released. First step is it goes into the quality section, signature, waiting for an approval. The person would get that email you saw, come into the tool. We have a web interface or mobile interface as well. Go into the tool, make the approval. It drops from signature to current, and now it's waiting for an import job to push it into the system. In this example, we don't have a job set up, so I'm going to go into what we call the system queue, which is what Basis could use to just push it into the tool itself, into the system. Once we're in the system queue, as a Basis person, you can generate the queue, and you see the truck in the middle. Sorry, right here. You basically push the truck to perform the import. Usually this is done by an automated job. Okay, it's being imported into the system. After it gets imported, speed up a little bit. After it gets imported, it sends emails to the appropriate people. And then it would move down to the production signature step automatically, right? After it gets imported in QA. In this example, a lot of our customers say, don't go to signature, go to queue. It's a stopping point. It's being tested in quality now. It's not quite ready for its final approvals. And we do that as well for several customers. We don't go right to signature because it's not quite ready. So in this case, it's in signature, an email has been sent. In this example, we're waiting for a BW BPO approval, and then when it gets to the technical approval, a basis approval and a CCRB, which is the last approval. In my working with this customer, they since have removed the basis approval, and basis is not even involved anymore. They just use the BW BPO approval and then the CCRB to push it into the system. Basis only gets involved if there's an issue, return code 812, or the queue is locked or something like that. So I want to 5 minutes left. I want to speed it up. So we're going to make the approvals. Here I'm just showing you we captured all that information on the front end that we filled out. Okay. Sorry about this. All right, ready to make the approval. So I make the first approval. I'm going to go in and make the second approval. Okay, so I'm in admin, made the BPO approval. There was 3 approvals in the production. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the technical approval. And then to say, these are all sending emails to the right people at the time. So then I make the last approval, and it gets imported into the system. Okay. So that's just a quick and dirty, release from dev, throw out some information, our body captures it, goes into TM, goes into quality, gets an approval. Goes into signature, gets an approval before it gets imported into quality. It goes down to production signature. Those folks approve. So you can see there's workflow steps built in. It's very methodical, and you can capture additional information via our TM attributes. Again, this was a blank transport. There's proactive technical checks that happen along the way. Emails are sent, and everything is automated. So it really takes all your manual processes that you're doing today, and you're still the same process, but we move it from a manual process to an automated process with our solution. So I wanted to leave a couple minutes open if there's any questions. Again, let me go back to our contact information. I know I was fairly quick today, and I really appreciate your time in joining our session, but I would like to just say we're very active on social media. We have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, we have our website. There's numerous ways to contact us. We would love to talk to you about more information about our products and our solutions. We know if you use SAP, REALTECH can help you. So with that, I'll open it up. Carly, I don't know if there's any questions or if you see anything on your side.
All right, so it looks like if you do have a question, please feel free to write it in the chat below. So we can just wait a couple minutes and see if any come in.
Sure, yeah, no worries. You know what, while we're doing that, what I can do is, let me just pop up our website real quick. Okay, great. So within our website, there's some really great information around our products. One thing I wanted to point out is if you really wanted to just do a little bit of investigation on your process today, we have this ROI calculator, which is great. You can walk through, put in the information about your systems, employees, how many basis people you have, how many transports changes you do, and eventually you get to a step where it tells you how much money you would actually save by implementing our solution versus what you're doing today. So I encourage you to go on and try it out. It doesn't, obviously it's free, right? And we want to help you get a better business case to use our solutions.
Perfect. All right, and Dave, we just had one question come in so far, and the question is, who would manage REALTECH? Is there a need for a REALTECH administrator?
That is an awesome question, and absolutely not. So what we do is when we do the project, we train Basis. Basis is really the administrator of the tool, or if you have a release or change manager, they're sort of the power user of the tool, and Basis just does the changes. So a little bit about our project. Let's go down here. And the answer is no, we don't need additional resources. We actually, I like to say, reallocate resources to more important projects. And we are the equivalent of, let's say, one FTE of a Basis person because they're on to other tasks. Let me see, where's our project stuff. This is just a list of some of our customers. I think it's here. Okay, so for us, we like to say we're a 4 to 6 week project. You can come in, implement SmartChange for automation, integrate the outside applications, then do some enhanced config or customizations if you guys want, and we go live. So within 4 to 6 weeks, you're using a solution like ours. And no, we don't add resources. We actually reallocate them, I like to say, for more important things. So once you go with automation, it's sort of, and our tool is very easy to administer, right? I think some of the key benefits of our solution are obviously cost, ease of administration, ease of use, and then also flexibility. I hope that answered it.
All right, great. Well, I think we hit our time limit and there are no other questions. So just want to wrap it up, Dave?
Yeah, that sounds good. Just want to thank everybody for their attendance today. And what we'll do is we'll send the slides out, but we'll also put our information. This will all be on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. If you need any more information, please feel free to visit our website, reach out to us, or please contact me directly. Thank you very much. Thanks, Carly.